Alright, hey guys, AnimeWestReacts here's giving a reaction to Summertime Render episode 16. So this episode we have Shinpei and them deciding their next course of actions. They decide to go to the clinic because because they freed Shadow Mio from Heine's control at the end of the last episode. And so yeah, she tells them a lot of information, like Shinpei asks her questions, like when were you born? And so Shadow Mio explains that Heine, or she says mother, copied Mio at the wake, and then she was born later in a cave that night. And so yeah, she cut the brakes on Mio's bike because she figured that rather than killing her, it would be a lot simpler to kill her if she was to get injured and end up going to the hospital, because then So's father could then kill her there, because obviously he's working together with the shadows. But she failed and she wasn't really able to, and so now that she's possibly been separated from, possibly because she's been separated from Heine, she has no desire to kill Mio anymore. And then we get an explanation of how the two different abilities of copying. So there's like childbirth is one, where they create a new shadow. But because she's like a grandchild, she can only make one, and then the one she creates wouldn't be able to copy another person or make anyone. So we get like a family tree kind of thing. So Heine can create as many as she wants, but because of the fact that she's weak, she can't, or she's got the potential to create as many shadows as she wants, but because of her weakened body, she's unable to. And then those children can create other children, and then the grandchildren cannot, create. There's a limit, basically. So, because Mio is a grandchild, she says the grandchildren she creates cannot give birth. So, and they have a week to copy the original, or else they'll turn to mud and vanish. So she's got 6 days left to live, is what she says. And of course, So gets very heated about this topic because he loves Mio, and so they're both Mio, so they just kind of both say his name. And then Tokiko explains what they've done, that they just brought her food. And so Dad knows everything, and so they decide that the next course of action they need to do is to go after him. There's a bit of a distance between Shinpei and Shadow Mio for obvious reasons, that she's killed him a bunch of times before, so he's kind of wary of her. So she's like a lot more direct than Mio would be about certain questions, like her love for Shinpei. So asking things like if he got a girlfriend while he was in Tokyo, because he tends to change his accent. And so yeah, they get to their house, or so Tokiko's house or clinic, I think it was one of the two. And so everything is gone, the desk, the bed, the closets, everything, they say, is gone. But Nagumo points out that it was done haphazardly, like they were trying to hide something. Or she says it's as if they knew something here needed to be erased. Excuse me. So yeah, they go to the clinic next. And yeah, it's real creepy because hospitals at night are very creepy. So yeah, Mio's scared, or Ushio's scared, not Mio. Mio's not there. So yeah, Ushio's freaking out because of being in the hospital at night. They try the elevator, but something's caught in the door in the basement, so they have to go down there and look at it. Ushio becomes less scared because of the fact that she learns that it's only her body that's down there, and so because of that, it became less scary for her. And so yeah, they go down, they find out that it was actually the mother's and Tokiko's mom's wheelchair that was stuck in the door. They see something often like the shadows, the darkness basically, and so when they flash the light over to it, it disappears. They chase after it into a room that's got like nothing in it. Tokiko then shows them the secret room, which is where Mio's body would have been, but it's gone now. And so yeah, then Tokiko tells them about this corridor that leads to Heine's nest because that's how they were taking her food. And so yeah, they go down it they follow down the corridor and find their mom pretty much just choking their dad at the end of it, or trying to kill him. So then Ushio then cuts her link with Heine, freeing him. And so yeah, Dad immediately they have to do like CPR on him to bring him back because he's dying because of being choked. They are able to resuscitate him, but he's immediately not willing to talk to them, tells Tokiko to kill them, but she just says, yeah, pretty much tells him there's no point, nothing he does, Heine's not going to save them anymore. Or, yeah, pretty much tells him that Heine's double-crossed them. And so, yeah, then he manages to really kind of coolly knock the gun out of So's hand, grabs it midair, and shoots Tokiko. And yeah, we learned that it was actually not Tokiko, but Shadow Mio, who was Tokiko let scan her to be able to copy her. Or like, copy her physical appearance. And so yeah, she's able to gain their trust because of that. Tokiko let her do it because it shows you like what your innermost, deepest feelings are basically, and so that's the reason she allowed her to do it. So Shadow Mio knows how she feels, or knows everything about her basically. And also a little line of not wanting to copy Shinpei because she doesn't want to know how he feels because obviously in love with him, so copying him, and then she would realize he doesn't love her, so yeah, she didn't want to do that. But yeah, they grill the dad, So grills him, and yeah, Mio then copies him, tells him that she does the flash thing but can't copy him, so he has immunity, which causes him to freak out because he doesn't understand. So yeah, then Shadow Mio pretty much just explains it, that you had a shadow copied you and then was killed. And then he starts, kind of freaking out because he realizes, says, then why did I do all this, basically? And that's when Nagoro shows up with Ushio's body. Shinpei tells Ushio not to go after her because she's trying to bait them. She was trying to bait them with her body to come after them, but yeah. Shinpei then says Mio tells Ushio that Shinpei is probably the most frustrated out of all of them, but then he says that to view anger and frustration objectively and use them as weapons. And then turns back to the dad, tells him, is there any point in staying silent now that you know they have discarded you? Is there any point in staying silent now? And yeah. They give the mother back her memories. She apparently had no idea she was even a shadow, is what they say. And so, yeah, she kind of talks to the dad, is able to convince him to tell them everything. So, yeah, the dad pretty much tells him that Heine's goal is just she wants to go home. She's apparently trying to somewhere across the vast ocean. That's where her hometown is. But it's in a realm that only shadows can get to, and because she has she needs her full power to be able to go there. So that's why she's doing all this. So yeah, she says that his objective was to have Chitose, the wife, himself, and basically his whole family become shadows and go there with her. And so yeah, they pretty much say that you're like being really selfish. And so yeah, tells him that killing Heine will kill all shadows that she's created. Ushio then says that she's pretty much prepared for that, and so yeah, then he goes and takes them and gives them this booklet pretty much that was in a safe that has like all the people he's diagnosed. He says he diagnosed everyone with the shadow sickness, and yeah, it's also a list of Heine's food. And then yeah, Shinpei gets the revelation about what really happened to his parents, that they had actually found Heine's cave and they were going to go public with it, so they were taken care of, basically. And it made it to look like an explosion or an accident. And then their bodies were then taken to Heine, who then ate them. So yeah, they were killed, it was made to look like an accident, and then Heine ate their bodies. Or ate them, and then we get the reveal of who Shide is, that he is Heine's first child she's created. His name was Shidehiko Hishigata, the founder of the clinic. And so yeah, good episode. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, then leave a like, share it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all later. So yeah.